One of Donald Trump's most loyal and vocal supporters and MAGA acolyte, commentator Charlie Kirk, was shot in an event at the Utah Valley University this afternoon. Reports say the suspect has been apprehended. According to the university, the suspect is not a student. There are reports that the FBI is on the scene. A recount of the event from CNN reads, quote, "A kid came up and he asked a question about how many transgender shooters there were, and Charlie gave him another comment, and then he asked one more question. And so the question was about shooters. And before Charlie Kirk could pick up the mic again, that's when the shot happened," unquote. Before we speak to the more broad issue here, I want to read some of the comments that have been posted online by Democratic lawmakers who, to a person, were swift to condemn the violence. Governor of California Gavin Newsom said, quote, "The attack on Charlie Kirk is disgusting, vile, and reprehensible. In the United States of America, we must reject political violence in every form," unquote. Chuck Schumer, minority leader in the Senate, wrote, quote, "Political violence has no place in America. The shooting is horrifying, and I'm praying for Charlie Kirk and his family," unquote. The leading Democrat in the House of Representatives, Hakeem Jeffries, wrote, quote, "Political violence is never acceptable. My thoughts and prayers are with Charlie Kirk and his family." I too condemn this shooting. I too condemn political violence in all of its forms, every single bit of it. But here's the problem. The right does not condemn political violence, at least when it's wielded against their political enemies. We have seen time and time again people on the right actually going out of their way to celebrate victims of political violence on the left. We saw this with Paul Pelosi. We've seen this many, many times since Donald Trump has come to power. Here is the problem with statements such as those of Schumer's and Jeffries and Newsom's. They completely elide the truth of what this country is facing right now. Facing that truth does not mean rejoicing in what happened today. Quite the opposite. It means coming to terms with what is driving the political violence in America today. It is almost entirely on the side of the Republican Party, and it is driven by no person more than it is driven by the Republican Party's leader, Donald Trump. It is he more than anybody who has created a culture in which political violence against the left is not only acceptable, but something that should be celebrated. He has created a culture of political violence and vengeance. He has made it clear that anybody who stands up against him is his enemy and is therefore not worthy of protection. He has incited violence against his perceived political enemies as well as against his own government. This is not a both sides issue. This is not a time when we put aside our differences to come to some preconceived notion about where we should be as a country. We are far beyond that point. We have gotten here because we are so divided, and we are so divided in this issue, as in so many others, because of the rhetoric coming from Donald Trump and the Republican Party. Back in 2023, Charlie Kirk said the following, quote, "You will never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational. Nobody talks like this. They live in a complete alternate universe," unquote. Well, unfortunately, the universe we live in is a universe created by people who actually think that guns in our society are more important than the lives of the people living in it. Unfortunately, we live in a universe in which violence, political violence, has been normalized by one party and one party only. The Democrats should be condemning what happened today. Any sane, right thinking person should be condemning what happened today. But we are missing the point. We are indeed missing an opportunity if we do not take the tragedy that unfolded today as permission to start a broader conversation about how we got here, who's responsible, and quite frankly, what the hell we are going to do about it. Please take a second and like and share this video. It'd be awesome if you could subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to us in podcast form, please follow us and give the show a 5-star rating because it really does help other people find our content. Thanks.